You are posting on LinkedIn every single day, but instead of signing clients, you are stuck at 5 likes per post, and you are watching your competitors sign 5k, even 10k a month deals and become the go-to authority. You see the same tired advice everywhere. Post consistently, add value, and engage with others. Those generic advice worked in 2020 when organic reach was easier and competition was a lot lighter. But the landscape has changed completely in 2025. The new algorithm is different, the audience expectations are higher, but everyone is still posting the same generic AI slop. And you start wondering if LinkedIn or personal branding even works anymore. But the problem isn't you, because I'm the living proof of that. I started LinkedIn with 176 completely random connections and 0 posts in July 2025. And I started getting 100 plus likes on my posts and landing my first client on LinkedIn. And in this video, I'm going to show you my exact 6-pillar LinkedIn system. I've proved that my LinkedIn strategies worked in today's competitive LinkedIn landscape. After just 10 days of implementing my LinkedIn system for Christian, he booked a call and closed a 4K deal. And just 10 days ago, he had a completely dead audience. Everything you need is in this video, from zero LinkedIn presence to landing clients. So if you are tired of posting into the void and you actually want to grow and get clients on LinkedIn, make sure you watch this video all the way through. By the end, you will have the complete system that you can start implementing today. So let's get into it. Welcome to my 6-pillar LinkedIn system, from zero to signing clients in 4 weeks. So here's some proof. These posts are mostly when I started, just like a few weeks after. So I start with just 176 random followers, and you can see the screenshot here where I have like 176 followers and like 0 posts, 0 impressions. So it's my starting point with the date. So I wanted to document it, but I wasn't actually starting from 0, because on X I generated like 7 million views and got a lot of clients, and I knew that the same principles work on LinkedIn too. So I decided to document my LinkedIn as a live case study, and it worked out pretty well. So here is Christian saying that he booked a call and a 4K close from LinkedIn, and basically the prospect said that he loved the content. So, and this is just 10 weeks of working together with his LinkedIn. So why am I telling you this? Because most LinkedIn advice is outdated, and most people are following advice from gurus who built their brands like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and now it's much different. And now I'm going to show you how you can actually get results in 2025 and 2026. And now, after 3 to 4 months of posting on LinkedIn, I can confidently say that the bar is very low and you can get really good results if you actually do the right things. And you should listen to what I say very carefully, because I'm not some guru who generates like millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm just someone probably 1 to 2 steps ahead of you, and this is why what I tell you will work the best, because I'm not actually detached from what it means to start from the beginning. Okay, so now let's actually see the 6-pillar LinkedIn system and start dissecting it a little bit. So this is the first stage, which is what I call the fast track foundations, and then the momentum building stage, and then the authority accelerator stage. So in stage 1, there's premium positioning and sleeping revenue activation. Premium positioning is all about standing out from others, and sleeping revenue activation is basically activating all the leads that already know you and extracting revenue from them, which is the easiest actually revenue source and fastest. And the second stage is the magnetic content, which both helps you build your authority and helps you reach new people. That's what I call magnetic content. It both builds trust, authority, but also it gets a lot of views. So that's what we want. And next thing is, of course, community building and gravity network, because if you don't get engagement, the algorithm doesn't show your post to new people. So that's why it's super important. And the next part is step 3, which includes Dream 100 DM system, where you don't actually automate sending thousands of DMs, but you actually send 5 to 10 DMs a day to get really high ticket dream clients, which is actually a lot better. And the last part is Snowball momentum, where you can use everything here to actually build even more momentum with your content, but also when it comes to getting clients. And before we start, this guide is not for you if you just want to spam people with cold pitches, or if you don't have any value to provide to others, or if you just simply want to like post cringe content just to get some views. And this is for you if you want to become a micro authority on LinkedIn, get clients with a small audience, and actually build trust and relationships while providing value. So let's start with premium positioning. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people who are signing clients very easily and making 10x more money than you. But the reality is they're also posting once a day, they are sending DMs, they are like engaging with others, they are running ads, they are basically doing the same things, but they are getting 10x more results than you. So in this pillar, we are going to understand why that happened. And simply the difference lies in offer and positioning. So the first one is understanding the demand. And as you can see, there are three intersections here. First one is the industries that you know, and then skills that you have or can learn. And then the last and the most important part is if markets needs or desires your solution basically. So the difference between a hobby account and a profitable brand is actually understanding the market's problems and solving them. And one of the best ways to niche down is actually niching down after a problem. And when you combine this with industries that you know and with the skills that you have, now you have a problem that you can solve, but you also have the authority and you also have the connections, so that you have the three intersections, and now you can provide the most value to that niche. And when you provide the most value to that niche, now you can charge the most amount. So the real question is, are you positioning yourself as the go-to choice when they are ready to buy? And if you are not positioning yourself that way, either you are not basically targeting a problem that has demand, or you don't have skills you can provide value, or maybe you don't know the industry, so you are trying to maybe solve a problem that you don't even know. So there are a lot of people maybe trying to help, like let's say home services, but if you don't know anything about a home service business, that means that if you don't know that person well, you can't help them really well, because first you need to understand them, and you can actually communicate that you can understand their problems well. Because if they don't understand that you understand their problems well, then they'll think that, okay, this guy is just trying to sell me something, and they won't take you seriously. So that's why actually really important to know the industry that you are trying to help. So now we understood the demand, and the second step to turn this into actual money is cold friendly offers, because most people actually maxed out their warm network, which means that they maxed out the people that who know, like, and trust you. So these people are a lot easier to sell. But when you max those people out, now you just have the cold audience, and it's a lot harder to sell the cold audience. So if you have people that really like and trust you, maybe you can have a weak offer and make some money, get clients. But when you max out those warm people, because everyone's network has a limit, and at some point you need to sell to the cold audience to actually make more money. And when you get to that stage, you'll see that your offer will not work, because the offer that worked with your warm audience doesn't mean that it will work with the cold audience. So that's why it's really important to have the cold friendly offer, so that you can basically sell to anyone, and you don't get stuck when you max out your warm audience. And the best way to do that is have an offer with specific outcomes, because a cold audience like doesn't care about something random or a service. For example, they don't care about video editing, but they care about if that video editing or if those videos actually help them get views, help them get clients. So most LinkedIn offers fail because they just stack deliverables on top. They think that's like, okay, they didn't buy this offer but this service, but if I add more services, like, this will be more valuable and they'll probably buy it. But this doesn't work, because when you add like more services on top, this gets like even more complex. And when things get complex, like, the prospects get confused, and then a confused person doesn't buy. So this actually prevents you from selling. So it's like stacking deliverables on top is not the solution, but the solution is having a clear offer that people can understand and people can think that, okay, this offer will help me with this outcome. And this is why cold friendly offers work and just service descriptions don't work, because the formula here is really simple. If a 13-year-old can't understand your offer, or if they can't understand like what this offer helps them achieve, that means that first it's not an offer and people will get confused and not buy. So even if you have all of these things, if you don't have the cold friendly offer, you may have a hard time after you max out your warm audience and when you need to sell a cold audience basically. So let's say you understand the market demand, you know some industries well, you have skills, and you have your cold friendly offer. Now you can still have problems because everyone has a good offer, and with the book of $100 million offers by Hormozy, this basically democratized the skill of creating offers. So right now everyone can create good offers, and if everyone can create good offers, this means that it's less valuable. So now you need something else to actually differentiate yourself and standing out, because just making claims is also not enough. And right in this and in this moment, irreplaceable positioning comes into play, and you can get irreplaceable positioning by doing these three things, implementing these three things well, which are your unique selling proposition. So this is actually not the outcome, but how you help people achieve the outcome. So let's say that everyone wants to be fit, but someone can do it with, let's say, bodyweight training, someone can do it with like powerlifting, someone can do it with just I don't know, with just running. So it's like how you make people achieve it, like this really differentiates you. And the second one is having a common enemy. So this is not what you do, but this is what you don't do. So what you don't do is really powerful, because people also don't want to do certain things. So let's say that you help people get fit, but you do that by not making them run miles every day. So if there are people that don't like to run, this offer will attract those people even if the outcome is the same. The method is different, and the different method will attract different people. And the last and the most important part is your story. This is why you are uniquely qualified to solve the problem, because everyone has a different story, and this is the one of the few things that it's really like really hard to replicate. So for example, when you talk about your story, you attract similar people. So let's say that you had like certain challenges, and if other people had those certain challenges, you'll attract more of those people. So when you talk about your story, you'll actually attract people that are similar to you, and those people will like and trust you more. So it's really important to also talk about your story in the content while building the authority, while like sharing results. Those are also cool, but this will help you differentiate in a competitive market. And I work with a lot of like high profile clients, like 7-8 figure founders. Like I worked with like VC funded startups, and this wasn't because I was like the best X guy or best LinkedIn guy, because some of the things that I told you in this step 3 actually helped me differentiate, so that when two people have similar results, they can choose the one that they like the most, which is like the irreplaceable positioning. So that's why it's really important. So by implementing these 3 steps in premium positioning, Jaden closed his first client from X. Also, Philip closed his first, second, and even more clients from X. And also, Hussein closed his second client, and then he went on to close even more clients. So that's why it's really important to basically differentiate yourself, because these people just close their first, second clients, and your first and second client is the hardest basically. And without premium positioning, you are just another voice, because everyone can post content, everyone can make claims, and this is the thing that actually makes you stand out when you have a lot of competition. And we actually have a lot of competition in 2025. And this makes everything work even better when you have the right offer, right positioning. Your content will perform better, your DMs will perform better, and basically you'll build momentum even faster. So this makes everything work even better. So if you are getting a lot of price objections and prospects are like asking you like, why should I choose you, and if you are not sure if your offer works, if you are not sure if your positioning is good, I can help you build your whole premium positioning with just 1 hour a month of your time. So if you want to see how that works, click the first link in the description and book your call. Or if you want to do this together with my Done With You system, you can click the second link in the description and send me the DM intensive. And if you want to get this whole document for free, then you can click the third link in the description, and then I'll send you this document. And the second pillar is sleeping revenue activation. This is one of my favorite ones because depending on your lead list, with the right strategy, you can activate like 1k, 5k, even 10k of revenue really fast, really quickly, depending on your lead list and depending on like how many leads you have in your pipeline. Because most people actually forget this gold mine. They always want like new leads, new sales calls, like they always want to reach out to new people. Well, actually the real gold mine is in your old leads, because they already gave you attention, they already know you, they already like you to some degree, they already trust you. Maybe you had a lot of sales calls, so when you reach out to a lot of new people, when you send a lot of new DMs, these are the people just starting to get to know you. But when you have a sales call with someone, that means that that person talked with you like 20-30 minutes and they know you a lot more than other people. So maybe that wasn't the right time, or maybe you didn't have the right offer at that point, or maybe it wasn't just the right time. So now you can think about the objections, like why didn't they buy, and then you create a custom offer for them with the right offer, and now you reach out. So now you have a lot more chance of like just activating that revenue and helping them if they still need your help, because they already like and trust you, and now you know their objections, and you create a custom better offer for them, and you just reach out. And this is like a gold mine that most people don't even think about. So this is what happened when we started working with Michael. Like, he was talking with a lot of leads, and so he wasn't like activating those leads. So I told him to like have this offer, like DM them this offer, and then he just like closed a 2.5k deal in just 4 days using this strategy. And it works because, as I told you, they already gave you their attention, they engage with your message. Like, even if they didn't buy, they maybe say yes to your offer, they maybe said yes to like knowing more about your offer, or even in just the DMs they confirmed that they had a problem. So these are like really important signals that you shouldn't miss. And what most people miss is like, it's just like maybe the timing wasn't right, or now maybe you have a different positioning, maybe you maybe you remember their objection and you kind of position it differently. Maybe you can reduce the risk. So maybe that guy wasn't sure, so now you hit them with a guarantee, or maybe a weekly plan if they didn't buy the monthly plan, or maybe like you address the specific situation. And when you have the right revenue activation system with your old leads, you even get a lot of like DM closes, because those people were just ready. And you can here just see like a few of those DM closes that I get. Like, most of these were actually reoffers. So when someone already likes and trusts you, and you know their objection, and you just hit them with the right message, sometimes you don't even need the sales calls, and you can just close those people in the DMs, like these examples. So when you hear a maybe later, you shouldn't give up, and you basically note down your leads, track your leads, and when it's the right time and when you have the right offer, you should just hit them up and you'll be surprised. So there are probably a lot of warm leads sitting in your network. They maybe showed interest, but right now you don't know how to re-engage them, or like you don't know what to say. So if you are struggling with that, I can help you create the right revenue activation system, and I can help you hit them with the right message, with the right reoffer, so that you can start activating revenue pretty quickly. If you want me to help you with that strategy, you can just click the first link, and then I'll show you the details. And if you want this document, you can click this third link in the description and just grab this full guide from there. And now we are at the third pillar, which is the magnetic content. And yeah, at the time of creating this document, it was 2 months, but right now it's either like 3 to 4 months since I started LinkedIn. And I can still confidently say that the bar for content or LinkedIn is really, really low. Why? Because while most people are struggling with content, they are getting 5 likes, like no interested people, within just 4 to 5 weeks of posting on LinkedIn. Like my posts were getting like 70 to 120 likes consistently, and I was getting leads. People were asking me like, how are you doing this? Like, how are you getting these results? Like, what are you doing differently? So this means that like a lot of people are actually like hungry for solutions, and there are a lot of just inauthentic, generic, corporate, like AI slop content that prevents people from actually getting results with content, even though they may have a good solution. They may have great expertise, but if you don't have the right contents, like it will not work basically. So most people say that with the rise of AI, like it's really hard to gain traction. It's a lot more competitive because with AI, like everyone can create content, and now there's a lot of competition because creating content is easier. There's a lot of content, and when the content supply is high and the demand is the same, because there are the same amount of eyeballs that consume content, but with the rise of AI, like the supply of content is increasing exponentially. So in that case, people are saying that like it's getting harder and harder, like content will not work now, like content is not working now, like it's too hard. But it's actually the opposite, because using AI makes creating content a lot easier, and now people are actually not spending the time and effort to create good content. So everyone can just like go to ChatGPT and say like, hey ChatGPT, like create me 5 LinkedIn posts, and then it creates them 5 LinkedIn AI slop, like generate corporate BS posts, and they just grab it and post it because they think that okay, I need to like post once every day, and if I post consistently, this LinkedIn guru says that I'll get a lot of results. But then it won't work because your content is not good, and since everyone is already lazy, and since creating content got a lot easier, they'll just post the easiest, the worst content that they can create without like spending any effort. So like most of the content supply that's increasing exponentially are actually like really, really bad content. So this means that more and more people are starting to post bad content, and if you post good content, you actually have a lot more chance of gaining traction, because it means that it's a lot easier to stand out when more and more people are posting bad content basically. So that's why it's actually not getting harder, but it may even be getting easier, because when you have the right content, you stand out. So in this section, I divide magnetic content into 2 parts. The first one is creating the hook, and second one is the actual content, the actual meat of the post. And hook is equally important, or even maybe even more important than the actual content, because even if you have the best content, if you don't have the best hook, like your content won't perform. And you can see that on LinkedIn, people can only see the first 2 lines of your post. So this means that with the first 2 lines, you really need to grab the attention. And of course, with the visual also helps. Visual is like a second hook. So it's like you can think about it like this. You can either grab the attention with the first line to actually like grab people with something interesting, and the second line is mostly for creating that curiosity gap, because now people got interested. I told my family I'm searching for jobs, which got their attention, and then I said while I was silently building online. So now this like makes people curious, and it creates a gap, because they think that why is this guy lying to his family, and like what is he building online, and all that kind of stuff. So on LinkedIn, the hooks are 2 lines, and the way I think about it is usually the first one is saying something interesting to gain people's attention. And when you gain their attention, if you don't build enough curiosity, they won't click the show more button and they won't read the rest of it. They'll just keep scrolling because you need to create curiosity so that they need to crave that dopamine to actually read the rest of the post and know what's up. But if you don't have the interesting opener, you can't create curiosity um, over that interesting opener, because like the interesting stuff or something that's relevant is like the foundation, and then you build the curiosity on top. And now people, when people have both of those things, at that point your hooks work. If you don't have both, your hooks will not work and people just scroll right past. Because even if you are on LinkedIn, which means that you are probably targeting like sophisticated people, you are probably targeting like B2B people, SaaS people, executives like CEOs, founders. You are targeting like maybe Fortune 500 companies, and you are thinking that like these are really sophisticated people, so I have to like talk about really technical stuff, or I have to like talk about this like boring stuff. But even if they are really sophisticated people, they are just scrolling on LinkedIn to pass time. So maybe it's their like lunch break and they just want to like relax a little bit and they just scroll on LinkedIn. Or maybe they are in the middle of a meeting and they don't want to listen to it and they just scroll on LinkedIn. Or maybe they are just commuting from work to home and they just scroll on LinkedIn. So even if you are targeting these really sophisticated people, you still need to simplify the message and just grab them with the interesting information and build curiosity. Because even if those are like really smart people, they still need to have that curiosity to read it. And if it's like too complex, if it's like too technical, they're just scrolling, so they won't have the attention span to actually read the rest of the post. So it's really important to like simplify, have clarity, say something interesting, and have the curiosity gap in the hook basically to make them click more and read the rest of the post. Okay, now let's switch to hero's journey content. So this is really important because most people say like okay, here are 5 ways to like increase your revenue or like drop your churn, like whatever, and then they just list things like you should do this, do this, do this, and step 5 is like I don't know, like send cold emails, whatever. So now this is not personalized, this is not about you, and people can find this information anywhere. This information doesn't have anything special. So it's really important to personalize your like insights and actually talk about your personal insights. Because if people can find what you said on Google, people won't find it interesting, because now information is really easily accessible, and those AI generated 5 tips that you post on LinkedIn will not make anyone interested, because they can find that information anywhere. They can just ask 5 tips to like ChatGPT and they can get a pretty similar answer. But people are really interested in stories. People are really interested in how people achieved some things. So you can say that I achieved like this outcome, and while most people do this, I actually achieved it by doing this. So now you are saying that you achieved something that people care about, but instead of doing it with the regular way, like how everyone does it, you did it differently. You had this challenge, but then you overcome it with this, but then you had this challenge, then you overcome it with like another solution. And when people read your challenges, they think that, oh, I had this challenge too and this person solved it this way. So yeah, this person is like really relevant, this person is similar to me. So now they'll think that, okay, since this guy had the same problem with me, maybe I can ask him, maybe I can get his help. Or maybe this guy solved a similar problem to other person and he did it with his like this unique way. So now I think this person is different, like maybe I should get their help. So people may think this way because you are showing your journey, how you failed, how you succeed. And while doing that, you'll actually attract people that have like similar problems, and they see that you had the same problems and you still managed to solve it with your own unique way. And this is interesting. This is a lot more interesting than 5 tips to like increase your revenue, whatever the stuff that people can find by just asking ChatGPT. So this is like the summary of hero's journey content. So basically there is the place that people want to go, and there is their current situation, and you basically had that same journey. You were here, but then with your own unique solutions you got here, and you are basically telling the journey in a story-based format with your own unique insight, unique personal stories, just like how we mentioned in the basically irreplaceable positioning, like your story, your common enemy, your unique method, and this can all be implemented in your content. So that's why it's really, really important. And you can see that with these people, when we implemented this content strategy, like in 2 to 3 weeks, most people start to get like 5 to 10x more engagement, and actually like people start to book like calls at 200 followers, which was this guy. He's Joel, so he booked like sales calls from just his content at 200 followers. And basically this guy, like his friends were asking him like how is he's getting like this much engagement, and it was basically this. Or Ibrahim, who actually was getting like 100 views per post and then started going viral. So the thing is, people basically forget what you tell them. People forget the 5 tips AI generated post, but they remember how you make them feel, and you can make them feel something by telling your story, telling something relatable, telling that you had the similar problem, but then you achieve the stuff that they wanted to achieve in your content. And this is really powerful because this is how you make people feel something, and this is how you actually like make people remember you. And when they see your post again, they'll think that, oh, this guy is like on it, I read his like other posts, like let's read his next post. Yeah, but of course great content is not enough, so you can't just post content and log out, not do anything, and expect to get like hundreds of thousands of like followers, stuff like that. You also need to build your community. You also need to attract the right high engagement people to your account basically, and we are going to talk about how you can do it in the next section. But before we get into it, if your posts are stuck at low engagement and like you don't know what's resonating with your audience, you are posting consistently but feeling like you are shouting into the void, like you are getting 5 likes, like no one is interested, like stuff like that, and like you are wondering why other posts with less effort get more traction. So this is where I can help you. I'll show you how to create killer hooks, or I'll even write for them, and I'll actually create authority content in your unique voice, and basically without you doing anything, with just 1 or a month of your time. So if you want me to handle all of this content that gets a lot of views, gets traction, builds momentum, attracts the right people from your ICP, helps them relate to you, trust you, like you, and if you want me to do all of it for you, you can click the first link in the description, and I can just show you how I can do it. So now let's talk about pillar 4, which is the gravity network method for community building. And when this is combined with magnetic content, this is how you can get like 5 to 10x more engagement, more reach in just 2-3 weeks of implementing this strategy. So as I told you, like in 2025, 2026, just posting content is not enough because there's so much content supply. Even if your content stands out, like there's so much content. So if you are not a huge celebrity, you need to build your community and actually start attracting people who are interested in what you do, and start actually attracting them to your audience. And when you build a community that loves you and supports you, now you don't really need to rely on going viral, or you don't need to blow money on paid ads, because you'll get traffic consistently, and you don't have to even comment under big accounts to get views, because most people have this misconception that, okay, I'm not getting any views, So this guy has like 500,000 followers. His posts get like thousands of likes. So if I comment under his post, now some of those like views will also see my comments. So now I'll like steal his views, stuff like that. But this doesn't work because nobody actually like scrolls through the comments to find something insightful. They just comment to basically engage. And the other thing is those like views that you get from the big account will not care about you, and they just like maybe check out your account, but those views are like pretty low value and they won't help you achieve anything. Like they won't help you build your community, because I also tried that. And when I actually tried engaging with the right people from my target audience and really high engagement people, that's how I have the compounding effect. And now my posts get consistent engagement and they perform really well, because now I have the community and every post that I post gets a lot of engagement, so I don't need to rely on going viral. And the algorithm actually works like this. So first the algorithm shows your post to your maybe most engaged audience, and if they engage with your post, the algorithm thinks that okay, this post is probably engaging, let's show it to more people. So maybe it shows it to your like general audience, like less engaged audience. So if it gets a not good engagement score from that audience, the algorithm thinks that okay, this is not an engaging post and I should not show it to new people, because this post doesn't help our platform, this post doesn't help people stay more on LinkedIn. So basically the algorithm doesn't show it to new people. But when your audience, when your community engages with your post, the algorithm thinks that oh, like this post gets a lot of engagement, it's a high engaging post, now I should show it to more people. And when you have that community, if your posts are not really bad, you always have this effect where the algorithm always thinks that your posts are engaging and it always shows your posts to new people, new relevant people, and now you attract a lot of similar people who are already interested in what you do. Yeah, and basically this is the method that helped me get accused of using engagement pods on X and also on LinkedIn in just 39 days. So yeah, that's that shows that it's really powerful. And as I told you, commenting under big accounts doesn't work because the views that you get there are irrelevant and they don't help you build your community basically. And with the gravity networking approach, you actually build your community out of people that care about what you talk about, and actually high engagement people that support you and help your posts actually reach out to like new people. Because the algorithm reality that I told you about is that it first shows it to your audience, and if your audience doesn't engage with your post, that means that the algorithm thinks this post is not good and doesn't show it to new people. So that's how you see these people who have maybe like 50k followers, like 100k followers, and their posts are getting like maybe 5 likes, like no one sees their post, so they have like 5, maybe 10k, 20k followers, but they just post into the void because they either built a dead audience, or they built their audience 5 years ago maybe, and then basically their audience became dead, and now like it's really hard for them to reach new people with their content because they just don't have the active highly engaged community. And this shows the power of having an engaged community, because as you can see from this example, that even if someone has 50k followers, if they don't have the engaged community, their posts are still not seen by new people, their posts are still not seen by basically people that care about them. And here is the relationship building secret that I'm going to share right now. Your first DM should never be an ask or a pitch, and if you do that, you can simply forget about like building a relationship with them or having that person in your community, because people can smell neediness, and you need to build relationship first, support their content, add genuine value, and just have a genuine conversation with them. And when you do this approach, like this is not a short-term approach, it takes time for this to compound, but when it compounds, you'll see a lot better results, because you can see that with this strategy, I basically started on LinkedIn with just 176 random connections, and in just 4 weeks my posts were getting like 100 views. I actually first used the same strategy on X, and on X right now I generated more than 8 million views without going viral. So I never go like super viral when I get like maybe hundreds of thousands of views, and I don't even want it because those people are mostly random views. So the thing about going viral is that when you go viral, you attract a lot of random people, and in our community we don't want random people, because that's how you build a 50k audience that don't care about you, and you just get 5 likes per post and your audience becomes dead basically. But when you don't go viral, and when you just build a consistent community over time, this is where you can generate 8 million views like me without ever like going viral, and without basically building a dead audience. So if all of this like sounds cool, like okay, you know the benefit of building your community, like engaging, interacting, stuff like that, but you simply maybe don't have the time to do it, or you don't know exactly how to do it, like you understand why we are doing it, but maybe don't understand how, or you simply like just don't want to like engage with other people or build a community because it takes time, you have a business to run, and in that case basically I can also help you do all of this and build your community fully done for you. And all you can all you should do is basically click the first thing in the description, so that I can help you how you can build your community while you simply just focus on delivery and scaling your business. Okay, now let's look at pillar 5, which is Dream 100 DM system, which helps you get your dream clients' attention without spamming them or losing time with tire kickers. Because I told you the bar is real low with content, but the reality is the bar is even lower with DMs, because most people think that okay, I sent like 10 DMs but I didn't get any clients, so I should send like 1,000 automated DMs, even like 1 million DMs maybe, and now I'll get clients. But this doesn't work, because let's say that like this is pure math. So let's say that you send like 1,000 DMs and you didn't get any clients. Like if you send 10,000 DMs, like the most you can do is maybe get like 1 to 2 clients. So this shows that like the volume doesn't solve all of your problems if you don't have the right strategy. And while everyone is setting up like all these automations, all these even like proxies, all these like maybe 10 different accounts to like send thousands of DMs every day, what I do is I send 5 to 10 really personalized, highly targeted DMs that I send to people who are real business owners that can afford my service, has a good offer, and also someone that I like to work with. So those are the people that I reach out. And if you have the right authority, an optimized profile, a good personalized message, and the right lead magnet that they care about, and if you have all of these things, you can just send 5 to 10 DMs a day, and you can get a lot more results than people who send maybe 1,000 DMs a day. Yeah, so here is the math. So even if you send 1,000 DMs, if you don't get clients, if you send 1,000 DMs, you still won't get like that much clients. So when everyone is pushing the volume, which means that volume is like the where the saturation happens. So if you increase the quality, then you will stand out. So that's how I always think about it. So if everyone is pushing the volume with this AI stuff, with these automations, now you can increase the quality to stand out, because volume is just the same. Like even if you send 10,000 DMs, it's always the same DM. And even if someone gets like 1,000 bad DMs, if you send one good DM, like it will stand out. So that's how I think about it. And the first like art of it is the message, which is actually the first art of it is choosing the right people, reaching out to dream clients that would need your service, that would benefit from your service. The second art is basically having the right personalized message, and really open up with something about them so that they care to read, and then after that you basically show that you did your research and you basically identified something that they need help with, and now you are proposing a solution to them which you already did, and you already actually sent the lead magnet. So this is really, really important. And with these DMs I get interactions like this all the time. Good outreach strategy, great profile and branding. Go ahead and write the thread, mate, I'm interested for sure. So this guy actually wanted to like see some more of my stuff, and then we I think had a call, stuff like that. Another thing is I actually get a response from Eddie, which was pretty cool, and like this didn't turn into a client, but at least he noticed my outreach and he cared enough to respond, because most of these, like if I sent a automated AI outreach, he probably wouldn't respond. So this also shows that it works even if someone that probably gets like out of DMs. And as I said, these are like the three most important things when you are doing the Dream 100 strategy. Yeah, I used to believe that cold DMs are dead because as people say, we are living in a trust economy, and if people like don't know, like, and trust you, they won't buy from you. But you can actually bypass all of these steps with the right Dream 100 strategy really quickly, because now you have the personalized outreach. Now people know you and they're caring enough to actually like read the message, and then you hit them with the right lead magnet. Now they think that okay, this guy did his research and this guy actually like took his time out of his day to actually like write something personal. So now maybe they kind of like you, and after that, when they see the free lead magnet that you sent them, if it is good, now they start to trust you because you show your expertise and you show that actually you can help them. So it's actually a really fast way to bypass like all the steps of like know, like, and trust in just a simple DM strategy. So it's like really powerful, and when you target the right people that can afford your service, this can work really well basically. Yeah, so while your competitors are burning out their audiences because they are sending hard pitches that basically disgust their audiences, you are actually building genuine relationships with your dream clients. Even if they don't buy it, they say that like okay or not, like this is a good lead magnet, but this is not the right time. Like I am focusing on this, but maybe later down the line, like I can revisit this. Then you note them down, and then you basically hit them with the sleeping revenue activation, right? So now they know, like, and trust you, but maybe it's not the right time, or maybe your offer wasn't good. So maybe a few weeks later, you hit them back with the sleeping revenue activation, and that's actually that's how I close maybe half of my like Dream 100 clients. So that's also some bonus. So while others are getting blocked, you are getting responses, you are getting booked calls, and once you start landing clients and creating wins, the real magic happens, because now you can use these wins to get even more content fuel and client fuel. And now I'm going to talk about how you can do it in the next section, which is the Snowball momentum section. But before getting into that, if your cold DMs are getting ignored, or even worse, getting blocked, maybe you are sending like thousands of DMs and not getting any results, I can show you how to implement my Dream 100 strategy that helped me close like 1.5k, 2k, 3k clients from just cold DMs. So if you want me to show you the exact system and help you build your own Dream 100 strategy together, then you can click the first link in the description and send me the word intensive, and I'll send you more details. Okay, now it's time for pillar 6, which is the snowball momentum. This is how you can multiply your results without actually doing anything new or without actually putting in more work. So this is super fun to see and experience, and you do this while most people waste even more time while they are not even getting results in the first place. So the first way to do it when it comes to turning these into content fuel is basically using your both wins and also your failures as content fuel, because most people actually know how to use their wins to build momentum. They say that my post got viral, so basically they create a post about maybe going viral, so they kind of piggyback like off that, so it's like something cool. But most people don't do is they don't capitalize on their failures. So for example, this post, you can see that my post got like 100 likes, but yesterday my post completely flopped. So most people wouldn't post something about their post flopping, so this is like actually something that stands out even more, because you are sharing a failure. And now this builds even more relatability, because you are saying that my post failed, but because I probably did this thing wrong, and now I'm like doing something different and getting even more results, like stuff like that. So you are becoming relatable. You are showing that you also experience the problems, but you also solve your problems, and you can solve these problems for other people too. So that's why that really helps. And make sure when you post about these failures, you always combine it with a win. So first you use that failure, that vulnerability to stand out and get attention. This is like an attention generating mechanism. So this is like the Trojan horse, and they read that, oh, you failed, like you made a mistake, whatever, but then you combine it with something that shows authority. So I made this mistake, but I realized basically why it happened, and now I'm getting like even more results, things like that. So you use that vulnerability as like a attention generating mechanism, and kind of like a Trojan horse, and then on top of it, like you build your authority. And now if you just talk about your wins, your authority, like I achieved this, I achieved that, at some point people think that like, okay, you did it, like, okay, you achieved it, like, congrats, but like, I don't care. But when you talk about the story, when you talk about the failures, you will see that actually people will care even more about your story, and people will care even more about your actually achievements. Yeah, so this was just one example. If you look at my content, you will see even more examples of this, because I do this pretty frequently. And this is like one really good example of like how to leverage the momentum feedback loops. So this client of mine first gained like 600 followers in 3 days, and then 1000 followers in 7 days, because he basically used this content fuel method. Like first he got a win, we create a strategic post about that win, but at some point when you do it, when it worked, and when you do it one more time, people get bored, because okay, like you achieved it and then you achieved it again, people got bored. But then you change the positioning a little bit, add something new, so it's always fresh, and then you get a win again, but then you still make a little twist, and then it's still fresh, so it keeps working. And when it keeps working, you keep doing it. And this is how I helped my client actually gain 1000 followers in 7 days, which was pretty cool. And you can actually do the same thing with client attraction. So this has the same principle, because when you get client results, most people just feel good and move on. But actually you can use your client results to get even more results, and that's the power of compounding effect with social proof, because social proof is really powerful. And when you get a client result, you have that social proof, and you can use that social proof to not only get results, but also not only get clients, but also get better clients. And now you get better clients, you can get them more results, and even more easily. So it's like when you get when you get a better client, and now you got them better results, now you have a better social proof, a better case study, and you can use it to actually get even more clients, or even better, like even better clients. So when you have the better client, you can get them results even more easily. So this is like a feedback loop. So most people get the client results, and maybe they just like get a testimonial or stuff like that. But you can use it in your content, you can use it in your like sales, marketing, and actually attract better clients and get them more results, and the basically flywheel goes on. So you are implementing all of this and you are getting like some spikes here and there, but your overall results maybe don't compound, or maybe they just stay flat. Maybe you got some traction, but you didn't get to compounding results, and you don't get more and more results with the same effort. You maybe put even more effort but get like even less results. So in that case, I can show you my content multiplication system and how to leverage client wins, failures, and all the other stuff both in your content and in your marketing. So if you want me to help you do all of these things together, then you can click the second link in the description and I can help you install this system. And if you want me to send you this complete full guide, you can just click the third link in the description and I'll send it to you. Now, I know that was a lot of information, and I also know that most people who watch this video will get inspired, implement a few methods here and there, and then they'll fall back into their old patterns because they'll hit roadblocks that they don't know how to solve. That's just reality. And if you're an agency owner or B2B founder, who knows, LinkedIn could be your number one client source, but it's just another platform to manage, another audience to build, and you simply just don't have the time. I'll help you turn your LinkedIn into your number one client source in just 90 days and with just 1 hour a month of your time. Our done-for-you LinkedIn funnel positions you as the go-to authority, and you sign 5 to 10 new clients in 90 days, guaranteed. If you want someone who walks the talk in 2025 to handle your entire LinkedIn strategy, then click the first link in the description. I'll take care of your positioning, write your authority content in your voice, build your community, and create the complete system that turns your LinkedIn into a client acquisition machine. So you can start getting results with just 1 hour a month of your time. If you want to learn the details and find out if this is right for you, then click the first link in the description. And if you got value from this video, please like and subscribe, because I create content like this to help business owners scale their businesses with X and LinkedIn without wasting years figuring it out alone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.